Hello again, it is me, your host, Amateur Overlord, coming to you live and direct. Well, as live as you're gonna get considering you're watching this as a video, or vlog, the video. I'm so old. Speaking of being so old, the topic that I'm gonna talk about today is a cancer scare that I had about 8 years ago. I was 27 years old, living here in the UK, where there is national health care, so it was that aspect of it was less difficult. I know that in other countries that don't have national health care, the prospect of getting seriously ill is equally devastating because you don't know how you're going to pay for it, or you end up putting yourself into serious debt whether or not you recover or subsequently do not. So I will say this: the UK has that national health care under their belt. So shout out to the NHS. Only halfway because y'all messed with my entire life. So basically, um, 27 years old, I started to get sharp pain in my left testicle. All right, uh, it was excuse me, it was around the winter months, and then I noticed some swelling. So then I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Now, truth be told, one testicle can always, just like a boob, can excuse me, a breast can it's not uncommon for one to be slightly, not like significantly, but slightly larger than the other. Um, so I was like, first thing, no, maybe this is okay. But then the sharp pains continued, and I was like, no, to the point where if I took a step, it would go from my groin all the way down my leg to up my back and stop. And I was like, no, no. And I was thinking maybe it's just nerves, like trapped nerve or something. Kept telling myself it was fine, but then I must have got a call from my mother, who was still living in the United States at the time, and she was like, "Oh, how have you been?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Like I never told my mom anything because she freaks out at the drop of the hat, a drop of a hat about like pretty much anything. Like you tell her anything, she'll fall apart. I don't. I'm not judging her. It's just her particular makeup doesn't deal well with surprises or types of stress. Um, so I was like, I'm not telling her about this, and that she's so far away. So she had been planning to move over, funny enough, around that time anyway. But I still was like, no. But then she said something that just really threw me off because we don't usually talk about our family that we don't know too well that live in the West Indies. And she was like, "Oh, I heard about a cousin of yours. He must have died the other day." I said, "How?" She's always, the funny thing is he's around your age, but he had testicular cancer. And so right then and there now I'm panicking. I'm going, oh my God, this because a lot of cancers are genetic or hereditary and they're passed down through your genes. So I'm thinking if a cousin of mine in the West Indies passed away, and a lot of people sadly die in the West Indies, not necessarily because of their illnesses, but because for whatever reason the medical facilities that they might need are not available to them. And if they are, they'd have to travel so far, like to larger cities or to larger islands, to receive the medical treatment that they would need to survive. Oftentimes they pass away. I think that happened in the case of a dancehall artist named Jay Capri. I was told, and I could be wrong again, great dancehall artist, that if she had received medical care in, let's say, the United States, she probably would have survived the car accident that she was in. And so things like that always worry me about my family over there because, I have a lot of family there, and I do worry that they're about their well-being. Back to my situation. Um, so yeah, as soon as my mother said that, I got my behind up and took myself to my local doctor, or GP as they're called in this country, general practitioner. Um, Sat in there, explained my situation. The doctor checked me over. Um, and this is the funny thing. I'll say this for black men based on my perspective as a black man. A lot of black men do not like the idea of having someone, medical or otherwise, um, manipulate their genitalia, unless it's in a setting that is, a romantic setting with their partner. The idea of a male or even a female doctor fondling them, even under the, the necessary requirement of it, being a medical procedure, it bothers them. It bothers them immensely, and that's why a lot of Afro-Caribbean, African American men, they say, end up with these serious illnesses as like cancers and other things, especially prostate cancer, because they don't like the idea of getting checked for these things. And I would admonish you, I would beg you. Um, there's nothing humiliating about getting checked for these things, especially when you could lose your life as a result of not getting these things taken care of. So you could complete your journey of life long before you were supposed to, long before you completed the things that you needed to accomplish before you end your life here. By just being a little bit gun shy about the way a certain test goes down. And I'll tell you this, after a certain amount of checks, I could show my testicles to anybody who wanted to see them. Like, they could have been, hey, can I see your testicles? I would have been like, boom, check them out. You lose that shyness, or that modesty, or whatever you want to call it. You lose it because it's just like everybody's seen them now. Like, I was in the room one time, they must have had everybody, like, I don't know, an orchestra came in, 3 goats, a zebra, and a giraffe, and I was like, whoa, everybody's in there to see my balls, okay. And it was just like, you know what? I'm so terrified about dying about, I don't care anymore. Just see them. If the giraffe knows something the zebra doesn't, tell him to pass it along, because I just want to live now. I'm terrified. And it wasn't so much that they said the testicular cancer was the possibility. It was the not. They kept saying, well, it could be this, it could be that, and they weren't sure. And that went back and forth. I took 11 months off of work. I would say this is the one time that my union shined and protected me. I took 11 months off of work on full pay. And it was the worst 11 months, almost a year of my life I ever had. I thought that I might be dying. I stopped going outside. I developed agoraphobia quite badly. I would go out once a week because I had to get food and other things. I ordered clothing online. Like, I stopped washing my clothes. I just ordered new clothes. I ordered, I have 100 pairs of underwear, which I kept as a reminder from that time because I didn't want to do any laundry. So I just keep ordering underwear and stuff, and just in bulk, and just using them from that, disposable. It was getting crazy. When you feel that your mortality, is your whole world's out of control, your perspective of life completely changes. I would say during that time I lost a lot of fear. I remember how I felt when the doctor showed me, because he could see that I wasn't dealing well with it, and he showed me the prosthetic. And there's this little bag of something. He goes, here, don't worry, this could be your testicle still. You'll still look like you have testicle. And the guy said, so I said, so what if it's in both? Is that possible? He said, yes, very possible. You might lose both. But don't worry, they give you hormone. You'll be fine. I was just thinking to myself, how could he be so cavalier about this? I would lose my ability to reproduce. I would lose a part of my actual being, of things that I feel make me very much who I am. They say that young boys, baby boys especially, to feel secure, grip their testicles and their penis as they walk as a means to ground themselves psychologically. Men are very attached to their penis, as you well know. And I'm very attached to mine, and I would like to keep it that way until further notice. But yeah, I went in there and I did test after test. They didn't go so far as the biopsy, but they said they wanted to hold off. I don't even remember exactly all this. This is a while ago. But I will say this, during this time, the close-knit religious organization I was part of, no one really checked for me in those times except for one person, and she came by and she said she hadn't seen me, and she asked how I was doing, and she checked on me almost every single day, and she was the one beacon of light throughout that whole situation. And I'll go so far as to say I loved her. I still love her to this day. Doesn't mean anything. We're not together, but I will always love her for being there for me in that time. And in a time when I had given up. And this is why I say that sometimes what you're going through isn't as important as who you're going through it with. She was a beacon of hope and light throughout that situation. I didn't care about waking up until she came into my life. And waking up actually felt good again. And I wanted to go out again. And I wanted to eat again. Because I lost like 20 pounds in this time, and I was looking a weird color. There are pictures of me during this time. I had this weird purplish brown color. Like when black people get absolutely no sun and don't move around a lot, it don't look right. But yeah, so that was my experience. Again, click like and subscribe. It turns out that it might have been a trapped nerve, believe it or not, but they've never given any conclusive evidence. And on occasion, I still get it checked regularly. My testicle does still swell up. So black men in general, check your balls. Don't be shy about it. Tell your young men, tell your baby boys, tell your cousins. If you feel any lumps or anything strange in the testicular area, go to the GP right away. Do not be shy. Do not be ashamed. Death is a lot more embarrassing. Yeah, believe that. So always get it checked out. And yeah, tell me what your experience has been like. I know a lot of people that I care deeply about have gone through things such as breast cancer and cervical cancer and things like that. And I know how devastating it can be. Cancer is a faceless murderer, and I hope that I see it vanquished in my lifetime. So again, thank you very much. Mad love to all of you. Thank you for watching this very, very personal video of mine. I've got some very interesting information here I'm about to open. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I've been holding off opening it for this morning, and I'm going to open it now. And yeah, peace, love, and happiness.